speaking of Chicago teams, I know today we're still in the middle of doing our season breakdowns. Well, not season breakdowns, but more so division previews. We're still in the middle of that. Speaking of Chicago teams, so we want to talk about, if I'm not mistaken, today we said the Central Division.
Yes.
Central Division today. I know there was obviously a big trade that we'll get to later on. But speaking of Chicago teams, Chicago Bulls. Last year they had a resurgent season. They were even, I think if I'm not mistaken, tops at the East. At one point, there was a 2-week DeMar DeRozan MVP campaign. I was never on the campaign. But
I remember that.
I was never on the campaign.
I definitely was.
I was not on the campaign. I was not there with y'all. But there was a 2-week DeMar DeRozan campaign. Kind of fell off at the end. Zach had knee issues. Zach also got COVID in the playoffs. Lonzo got hurt. They had some injuries down the stretch. What do we think about the Chicago Bulls this year? I know Lonzo still has some injury questions. They didn't really do too much to the roster. They added, if I'm not mistaken, Andre Drummond, but they didn't add too much to the roster. What do we think about the Chicago Bulls?
I didn't even know they had Drummond.
They picked up Jay Drummond. He had beats on 2K.
That's a good backup to
Vucevic.
Give him 12 minutes because I don't think he needs to be playing as much as
only 12.
No, I don't. Nikola Vucevic definitely needs to be on the floor.
Nikola Vucevic.
My thing about the Bulls, man. Honestly, they draft good, man. They draft great. They draft great. I didn't expect Patrick.
Do they
Williams
really draft that great?
Yes, they do. To fit their to mold with
not
that
a single. Only one of their starters is what they got from the draft.
Kobe White is solid.
They got one. Kobe White is what the hell?
They consistently
Kobe White is mid-range.
They consistently drafted good.
They consistently draft.
One of their starters is only one of their starters they drafted. Who else do they have on their team? I like Ayo Donsamanu. How you pronounce it?
He's pretty great.
He's solid. But like, who else do they really? I know y'all gonna have to prove this whole draft stuff to me. Like, I'm not really
solid.
No, bro. No.
Off the bench, he's
an offensive. I mean, I hope you can find where was he picked at?
Who, Kobe White?
I hope so.
Like the 8th pick in the draft.
You don't have to be a top 10 pick to be a starter or an all-star.
They got a couple.
As long as you're being impactful to the team, it's valuable in that organization. You got to remember they're coming off. Prior to them having Kobe White, they were coming off Derrick Rose. They were coming off Jimmy Butler. They were coming off Joakim Noah. They were coming off.
Came off all those great players to get Kobe White down.
They have been in a situation that the Knicks was. Prior to when Derrick Rose left,
it wasn't that damn bad.
You wild.
You're right. Not that bad. Yeah, not that bad. Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler still had them in the second round. But yeah, they lost a lot of great elite players. Unfortunately, due to injury or them leaving and venturing off. Tom Thibodeau left. It's a new makeup. I like the team. I like it. It's just last year they went 0-16, I think, versus like the top four in the East, which I think was the Sixers, Celtics.
They also picked up Dragic too.
It was the Sixers, Celtics, Bucks that they went 0-16 versus.
Any team that was good, they lost.
And the Heat, they lost.
Any team that was good, they lost.
They lost to those 4 teams. And I mean, can they make the playoffs? Yes. Do they? I mean, they just paid Zach Lavine. That's great. Lonzo Ball needs to get healthy fast. They need Lonzo Ball back. They need his playmaking. DeMar DeRozan was playing absolutely stellar last year. I think
you believe he can repeat that this year, though?
Absolutely not. What's his age now?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
not. It's crazy.
Absolutely not. How old is he? 30, 31?
33. Nah, he
33?
Probably 32, 33.
32?
I mean, he got drafted
in
2010.
He's getting better at this point.
I mean, he got drafted in 2010. He's not getting better.
He's getting better?
I think his understanding for the game is on a whole nother level than it was.
DeMar DeRozan is the same DeMar DeRozan from 2018, okay? He's just getting. I mean, he never developed that 3-point shot. He's a killer mid-range shooter.
Contested game,
amazing 3-point shooter. I mean, amazing mid-range shooter. Amazing finisher at the rim. Great attacker. Zach Lavine, yeah, you got that money now, bro. I'm expecting you to step up. I need an All-NBA second team appearance from you, Zach. I need you to get over there.
Why can't it happen?
It's not happening.
Why can't he be the best shooting guard in the NBA?
Exactly why I've been saying.
What you mean? Why?
I don't think it's that much difference between him and Devin Booker.
Why can't he be the best shooting guard in the NBA?
Because his other guys is better.
Who?
James Harden,
Devin Booker,
James Harden,
Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell was not better.
Bradley Beal.
Donovan Mitchell was not better.
Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal is not better than Zach Lavine either. I'll give you Jaylen Brown and I'll give you Devin Booker by default. For sure. Them the only two I'll just give.
Bradley Beal gave us 34 a game for a whole entire season. I don't think
and they lost mad games.
Bradley Beal has
and he shot 42% while doing it, and they lost mad games.
And they still made the playoffs that year.
And actually,
they still made the playoffs.
And actually,
their roster was trash. And they went through hell with COVID.
They were whoa. Actually, Russell Westbrook was the best player on that team that year.
No, he was not.
When he averaged a triple double.
Better than Bradley Beal.
I disagree.
What the fuck do you mean? His best season? Hold on, wait. We can't act like we get a little bit outside right now, but we can't act like Russell Westbrook has not been a part of players having their best seasons.
Definitely, Paul George.
It was a fucking reason as to why Bradley Beal was averaging 30, because you have 34. Russell Westbrook going out there. He won 34. I think it was like 31.
It was not 30. It was
30. 34 is insane.
It was 31.3.
Yeah.
34 I think it was 31.3. But to each his own. Let's get back on track with the Bulls. Definitely, I think that Drummond signing is amazing. So their bench is going to consist of.
The bench is going to consist of Gordon Dragic, Ayo, Caruso probably end up starting now because Lonzo isn't back yet. Drummond, Derrick Jones Jr.
That's a solid team.
Derrick Jones Jr.
That's a solid AC.
Green.
I think they could sneak the AC. They could definitely sneak the AC. It's the top. The East is very top heavy.
Crazy.
The East is very top heavy. I'm not so big on the Brooklyn Nets. But it is Kevin Durant, and it is a Ben Simmons that's going to play basketball. I can't take them out the top 6. But I do think that they will be, whoever they face, they will compete against them. Last year, they were embarrassed by all the top teams. As Pavy stated, they lost a game to every team. They didn't win not one game to any of the top teams in the East. And I don't think they want to come out and do that again. As far as DeMar DeRozan, I should expect him to average anywhere between 21 and anywhere from 18 to 22 points per game. But I expect Zach Lavine to be above 26 plus point per game scorer. I expect him to take that leap. You got your guaranteed money. You got your check.
Hopefully you're healthy now.
You need to ball out, bro. You need to ball out. You have to want to. The city of Chicago is so massive. It's such a basketball town. You're amongst history as a shooting guard. You're playing a position for only one of the greatest players ever.
We trash on defense.
The defense,
small.
Defense, man, I'm not worried about that. Donovan Mitchell was small. You just said Donovan Mitchell was better than him, which I disagree.
Donovan Mitchell was better than him. I saw Donovan Mitchell average 50 points per game in the playoff series.
In the bubble.
You saw T.J. Warren turn into Jesus too. But
T.J. Warren is a bucket.
But for me, when I think about the Bulls, I think that for as resurgent of a season, I just said many times, bro. I saw the chicks back in the stands. I hadn't seen that many women posting pictures at Bulls games.
Was rocking.
Yeah, I ain't seen that many. I'm talking about, and I went to about 3 Bulls games when I was back. I haven't seen that kind of energy in the building for a Chicago basketball team since the D-Rose years, since the early D-Rose years. At that, not even literally the early D-Rose years. For me, I just think that they didn't really address any of their real issues this offseason. Now, I think that they could be waiting down the line Jokic just re-signed, so you can't get him. Maybe they're waiting down the line for some free agents to pop up, but I would have liked to see them even jump into Rudy Gobert sweepstakes. I thought it would have been something good for them to jump into just because of the fact that...
With Vooch?
No, get Vooch out of here.
Oh, you want him
just because of the fact, when I look at them defensively, I guess the pick and roll. I remember a game when they played the Spurs. Jakob Poeltl and DeJounte Murray literally ran pick and roll for an entire quarter and scored every single play. And they have no rim protection.
But they were short last year. They had Thad Young, right?
They still short this year.
They were short Pat Williams, Thad Young.
Then
they had Vooch, and we know Vooch don't move like
that. Exactly, and they're still short this year for the most part. Now, granted, you did bring in Andre Drummond. I do like that move, but I don't think Drummond is a defender. I think Drummond is a really good rebounder. I think he sets good screens.
He clocks the lane. He fills the lane.
He fills the lane, but I don't think they add the main thing that I think that they needed to address was rim protection, and I don't think that they added that. I think a lot of what the Bulls depends on Patrick Williams. Patrick Williams got hurt last year. Early on, I think he dislocated his wrist.
He needs to take a leap.
Yeah, what does he come out and look like this year? Can he be a guy who can give you
15
14, and give you
15, 5 and 3.
15, 5 and 3. But like, you know, even more than that, can he be a guy who you look at and like, yo, he could be second team all defense one day? Can he come out and do those types of things?
Great.
Zach, I think Zach is going to give you what Zach is going to give you, which is, I expect, 27 points.
Exactly.
50% shooting from the field.
High 30s.
40%.
High 30s, low 40.
40% shooting from three. Give you about 88% from the three-point line. Obviously, I think defensively he needs to get smarter. I don't think that will happen at this point.
Nah, yeah.
But he needs to get at least just have.
I'm sure he can develop the mechanics to
at least be some type of positive defensively. If you
do we know who's on their staff as far as like assistant or head coach?
I mean, head coach is Billy Donovan. Yeah, who the assistants are. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe they find some type of key in on some type of personnel as far as like maybe they get somebody on their staff or something that can help them defensively key in. I don't think Billy Donovan is a good defensive coach.
Fair. As far as Lonzo goes, I mean,
he just has to get on the floor.
Lonzo has to get on the floor. I mean, obviously he's developed to argue that they're outside of Zach. He's he is their best 3-point shooter.
Yeah, he's knocked down.
At this point is basically what he is. Caruso obviously had a great season, but I mean, DeMar, like I said, I don't expect DeMar to replicate what he did, and he shouldn't have to.
No.
Like, you gave Zach Lavine that money. Zach Lavine should be, when you walk into
the keys.
Zach Lavine should have the keys. I felt at times last year, DeMar kind of stepped into that role that we thought Zach would be in, and he looked like he had the keys, maybe out of experience or whatever, but he looked like he had the keys. But I just think that when I look at the other teams and what they did and how they got better, and I look at you got Gordon Dragic, but Dragic is 35, 36 years old. You picked up Andre Drummond, but then you look at the moves that everybody else made, and I just think that you're kind of like an afterthought now.
They should have traded for Royce O'Neal. Well, did he sign free agency with the Nets?
He signed they traded for him.
Oh, they traded for him. Yeah, they kind of went for him. It's not the end of the season, right?
But also, I don't think there were any real outside of maybe going to get Rudy Gobert, which I had said, like, yo, you put together a package of like Vucevic, Kobe White. If you want Patrick Williams, fine, and go get Rudy Gobert. Because I just thought that
he would have helped them a whole lot.
Backline defense, like it would have. If you get Rudy and you got Caruso out there, you got some shit. And you got Lonzo. If he's on the court, you got some shit out there.
They would have had some defense.
So I just don't think that the Bulls addressed their real issues. And I think that like I said, as resurgent of a season as they had last year, they got the city back excited. I just think that that's a team that's gonna probably most likely take a step back this year when I look at what the rest of the East did this offseason compared to what the Bulls did this offseason.
Do you have them making the playoffs?
I think they'll probably be a 7-8 seed. They'll
fight for the play-in.
Yeah. Unless somebody takes some steps that I didn't foresee them taking, like I said, Patrick Williams takes some type of step.
Could possibly take a step.
By the way, this is actually insane. Connecticut is now actually leading in this game now.
Oh my God!
But yeah, if like AO takes a step, I'm like, hey, Kobe can throw his name as like sixth man of the year type thing. Give guys take a step, but I don't foresee that happening, and I think they're probably more so of a afterthought now in the East. Joe, what's your opinion on the
Bulls? Hear me now, hear me good. The Bulls are going to have a drastic drop off next season. I think from all the teams that were good last year, they will not prosper this year. At the one, they got Mr. Alfonso, like LeVar Ball said, got changed name to Alfonso because the last 2 years he's been damaged goods. Lonzo Ball has been building a habit of letting fan bases down. He let the Los Angeles fan base down tremendously. He let the Lakers down tremendously. He came out there, gave us 9 points, 8 rebounds, and like 8 assists on on terrible shooting splits of like 35% from the field, like 26% from three, and like 60% from the free throw line. Played like an average of 40 games per year. Every time he did get something going, he'd end up on the IR report again. He's kind of doing the same thing with Chicago, letting that fan base down. If that team wants to be good, they're going to have to rely on that guy because he's probably he's a top 3 most impactful player on that team. And if he's not there, which I don't expect him to be there, he's not even going to be there for training camp. That's already been announced. So it seems like his career is just going in that direction, and there's no indication towards that changing. So without Alfonso Ball there as the one, they're really going to struggle without that.
Alfonso Ball is hilarious.
I got that. That's what LeVar called him on the Ball in the Family show. But yeah, without him there, Caruso can somewhat mimic, but it's not enough. If you're going to be out there in the backcourt with Zach Lavine, Mr. Grayson Allen was tearing Zach Lavine up in the first round of the playoffs last year. Grayson Allen had a couple of 27, 30-point games versus Zach Lavine.
To be fair. Wait. To be fair, Zach did get COVID, and also Zach did get a knee procedure. No. Zach was hurt the last 2 months.
He didn't play like the last 3 weeks or something like
that. Grayson Allen was looking like
he came back
in the next series. And tell me, what did Grayson Allen do the next series versus Boston? He was a ghost for most of the games in the next series. I wonder why the series before that he was literally had a
also
30-point game.
Giannis was literally running over people. Like, Giannis had them looking like children in that series.
Yeah, that's another problem with this team. They got Vuce Man out there at the 5. In this Eastern Conference, look at the bigs in the Eastern Conference.
They aren't top heavy.
Look, you got to play against Miami. They got Bam. Who you rolling out there to match up with Bam? Nikola Vucevic. You got to play Philadelphia. Who you rolling out there versus Joel Embiid?
Vuce can bang with Bam, so don't mention Bam.
No, he cannot.
Don't mention
Bam.
You
got Embiid, Giannis, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen,
lack of wings.
All of these. There's
wings.
One thing. All of the elite
and no rim protection.
All of the elite Eastern Conference teams have a big man that is going to give you problems.
The Bulls have too many guards.
If your only counter for that is Nikola Vucevic, you're in trouble.
They just added Dragic, Ayo, Lonzo, Lavine.
One of Nikola Vucevic's main strengths is his ability to shoot the 3 ball.
They really just lost this game.
Nikola Vucevic shot 31% from 3 last year.
They really just lost this
game. You cannot be getting torched.
They were up 10. I think they were up 5 possessions.
They were like 5 possessions.
They were up 5 possessions with like
6 minutes left.
6 minutes left in the fourth, and they just blew it. Shout out Connecticut. I'm not gonna fake it.
But yeah, you cannot be getting torched the way Vucevic would shoot. The way Vucevic is last season, like you said, Giannis run over everybody and then shoot 31% from the 3-point line. That's supposed to be one of your main traits. The reason why you're there. The reason why you make. I'm pretty sure $20 million a year. You can't.
Wait. I actually want to combat that because I feel like Vucevic was more of a post player in Orlando who could hit threes, but I feel like the way that the Bulls run their offense makes him stretch out and shoot more threes.
He pops.
He shot 40% from 3 the last year before with the Bulls. He shot 40% the year before with the Bulls. Yes, he did. It was 31 and it was like 38, and it was for the whole year. It was like.
But I don't think he took one as many threes. Also, I think he
get your ass to the paint then.
Also, I think he was more in a rhythm because of the fact of like you didn't have DeMar there. Like DeMar there and takes up basically half of your shots.
He takes up a lot of mid-range.
Look, you got to be able to utilize what you got there. If you can't, that's part of what championship teams have. They have players who can adjust their roles. So
no one in here is calling them a championship.
I'm just saying,
we just want them to make it to the second round.
The talent is not that great, so. In order to do that stuff,
we just want them to make it to the
players
second round.
who can sacrifice and can adjust to what everybody else is doing. If Vucevic can't do that and he can't defend, it's like, what's going on here? I project a drop off from DeMar DeRozan. Patrick Williams he's tall, he can hit a 3, but I don't. He's tall, he can hit a 3. But Patrick Williams has not really shown us much so far in this league. As for a lottery, he was a lottery pick, correct? Wasn't he a lottery pick?
Yeah, he was a lottery.
He hasn't really shown that much. I'm still not buying the whole Bulls draft flow thing.
He was
they drafted like 3 good players.
He was like 13th or something like that, though.
Okay, yeah, he played.
He's a solid starter. He could form into a Miles Bridges
2022 Wesley Johnson. Stop. Miles Bridges.
He could form into a
Miles Bridges is 22 a game with like 8 rebounds. No, hell no. Miles Bridges, you know how good he was last season?
He could average 19
in what world? In the G League?
And it's like his third year.
In the G League? Put him on the whatever the Vipers or something? League. No, but this Bulls team is not looking too good for them, especially as long as their point guard continues his same strategy. And Vucevic is what he is. And they try to roll out there against these big Eastern Conference teams. Arguably the toughest Eastern Conference has ever been in the past, like at least the last, not ever been, but in the last like 5. That's where I'm lying.
Since the 80s, it's fine.
I don't want to say since the 80s, I guess, but that's kind of proving my point.
Definitely since the 80s.
As tough as it is, you can't roll out there with this roster and the holes that this roster has and expect to be one of those teams. So it's going to be a very long year for Chicago sports. You already talked about the Bears, Justin Fields, who you got there throwing to Darnell Mooney and whoever else they got out there.
It's been a tough year. It's going to be a tough year for them. The White Sox ain't looking too, it's bad.
If the Bulls can get fans back in, if the Bulls can get fans back in the seats again, that'd be a great W for them. That's their ceiling. If you're a Bulls fan, you're happy you can still get the ladies back in the seats another year. You get that 6 seed, 7 seed. That's fire. But I expect them to drop off drastically.
What's the over under? What do you guys got them? How many games you got them win? I say 44, 41, 42,
44.
Yeah, I'm around that range. 44 to 40.
44. 44 for me. For me, 44.
They be sub 500.
I'll go 40.
Nah, they shouldn't be sub 500. Sub 500 would be a disappointment.
You think
if they were 40 and 42? That's a disappointment. You can't pay Zach Lavine $200 million and lose more games than you win.
Right.
No.
Right.
No.
Right.
That Zach Lavine contract is nasty.
It's not nasty.
I'm not giving somebody that who can't even contain. If you can't contain Grayson Allen, you're not getting that money from me.
What?
Y'all got there has to be more standards for these contracts.
A poverty franchise.
For these contracts, you guys, there has to be more standards thrown out there for these contracts.
That's what's gonna happen. If you can do the bare minimum, reach the table and
when it matters most, if you're gonna get your ass fried up by Mr. Grayson Allen, who had multiple disappearances versus the Boston Celtics when they had real defensive wings in his face. No, that's not.
How many games you got them winning, Joe?
The Bulls?
Yeah.
I said 40, like 41, 42. Obviously, if they get more,
so we all around the same range. They can make the play in and they could compete, but they won't beat that top 6.